Middle engine. The engines love their work. Henry loves pulling coaches, Toby loves his branch line, and Duncan likes pulling coaches as well. But none of them like being stuck in the middle. One morning, Duncan was cheerfully collecting freight cars in the smelter's yard, where Den and Dart work. They like to play tricks on steam engines. Duncan didn't want to fall for their tricks again. But before he knew it, he was stuck in the middle. "Oh, bother," Duncan chuffed crossly. "Little yellow piggy in the middle," Den teased. Coal cars in front and behind, Duncan had to go slow. Gordon was in the yards when Duncan steamed slowly by. "LOL, it's Pokey Duncan," Gordon laughed. You wouldn't be laughing if you were stuck in the middle," Duncan fumed. One by one, he shunted his coal cars onto the tipper's loading ramp, and the coal was unloaded. Duncan was not allowed to cross the loading ramp until the tipper had been turned off. It was against the rules, but as soon as his driver and firemen left, there was trouble. Hiro arrived to pick up coal. He bumped into the coal cars, and the coal cars bumped into Duncan. Duncan was pushed onto the loading ramp. "Help!" cried Duncan. "I'm not a truck!" Duncan was hoisted up. Tipped over and brought back down. After Duncan was loaded back down, the manager was cross. "You have caused confusion and delay," he said. "I'll have to report this to Sir Topham Hatt." That night, Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Duncan. "I am very disappointed in you, Duncan. The manager texted me and told me, saying you were misbehaving against the rules going onto the tipper's loading ramp," he said. "Sorry, sir," Duncan said sadly, "but it wasn't my fault. It's because those diesels made me a middle engine." "I don't care. In the meantime, you'll shunt freight cars until I can get to the bottom of this." "Pah," said Gordon, thinking of what he could hear. "I can handle those diesels with bent buffers and a busted boiler." "Then you'll do Duncan's run to the smelter," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Yes, sir," said Gordon. The next day, Gordon arrived at the smelter. He was determined not to be tricked by Den and Dart. "Hello, Gordon," teased Den. "Come to learn a thing or two from those who know." "Just get my freight cars in ready and stay out of my way," huffed Gordon importantly. "Yes, sir," Dart chimed greasily. Gordon cheerfully backed up to his freight cars. He was certain he'd fool Den and Dart, but he was wrong. Little blue piggy in the middle," teased Den. "Just like Duncan," jeered Dart. "I'm not like Duncan," huffed Gordon. "I'm not a middle engine and I'm not moving." And he didn't. When Sir Topham Hatt heard the news, he sent Duncan to fetch Gordon. This made Duncan happy. He buffeted up to Gordon and took him along with all the freight cars to the docks. "Right on time," said the manager. "But what's that big blue engine doing in the middle?" "Learning," replied Duncan. "Learning what?" "Learning to be a middle engine," Duncan laughed. Gordon covered himself in steam, hoping nobody would recognize him. But it was no good. There was only one big blue engine on the island, and everybody knows his name is Gordon.